Hey, you don't look confident, Bo. You don't look confident when you're doing that. You don't look confident.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by Chiefs Blitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Dick Athen, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hence
He got the winning Super Bowl touchdown.
Okay, got a catch. Anybody could have made that catch.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
You did it, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Guys, y'all got it. Comic. Guys, y'all.
I don't know what the trade details are. Hold on.
Woo!
They got
Woo!
Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Isn't that crazy? It's been 11 months since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and we're it's gone by so fast.
Oh, it's time to piss straight off. Pull up a picture of 81. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Rashad Smith. There it is.
Oh!
The Chiefs have done their perfect draft.
Dre's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From Mahomes to the defense, we can be the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate truth.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hey, I am Hence Todd. There's Lou over there. A loss that happened today. And Patrick Mahomes goes down. All prayers go to Patrick Mahomes. A heck of the stuff we got to get into. A lot of people calling for coaches' jobs. A lot of things are happening around the kingdom right now. But I think all our prayers in the kingdom need to be going up to Patrick Mahomes right now. You know what I mean? The vision I've seen as he get carried through the tunnel, as he walking past all the banners in the hallway, and I'm like, come on, man! It was just a devastating sight for me. Praying that he get better, but hope the MIR don't come back, negative in all kind of ways. This prayer does work. So what you had to say, Lou?
All right, so we are the four guys in the bar. The other two got hammered, so they can't be on screen right now because of the proceedings today. But listen, guys, I mean, it's just a lot more of the same. I think at a certain point in this year, it was really kind of heading in this direction where I think I said it in our group chat is whatever juice they had coming into the season, they kind of used it all up at a certain point, and it just wasn't there. You heard, I can't remember the name of the sideline reporter right now, so I apologize to her, but the CBS crew working, Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and I cannot remember her name, so I'm sorry about that. But her report was from the Chiefs sideline. The second half was basically not a lot of energy on the sideline, not a lot of people, talking about different things and looking at different opportunities or what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, whatever. So, it just wasn't a very good look. You're watching other games and you're watching teams making plays and there's some life there. I mean, as much life as the Chargers had, they still only scored 16 points. They've had a bunch of injuries or whatever, but they haven't gone through this unprecedented 7 years or 8 years, whatever it's been, of just dominating the AFC West, dominating the AFC in general. And quite frankly, being, one of the winningest teams really over a 7-year period in history in terms of total wins, including playoffs. So, yeah, it's always tough when it starts to get away from you. And we saw it, and we're sitting there looking at it in real time, just kind of like, we're just not feeling it, right? I mean, even on that last drive when Patrick goes to make that, I mean, there's plenty of time. You're sitting there, maybe Butker gets a chance, maybe they score a touchdown, but it just in the back of your mind, it just felt like this, it just doesn't feel right. So here we are.
And here we are. So speaking of Andy Reid, let's see what he said at the press conference.
All right, this is via Shefty. Coach Reid said Patrick will undergo an MRI in his left knee and acknowledged to reporters it didn't look good. Obviously, he's been playing through an injury. So we're saying before we came on, hey, maybe it'll just be a sprain or whatever. I think it was sprained before. He was kind of playing through that and playing with that injury. And here we are now going to, the MRI, knock on wood. Hopefully it's not horrible. It's not some sort of major reconstruction, because it would kind of put next year in doubt as well, which would be just insult to injury. Seriously, that's like pouring salt into an open wound. Just not good.
People in Ruben said it was a shit show out there that was out there today. There was there's no real entertainment value to it. I mean, offensively, it just there was, again, it's the same thing we've been saying over the last few weeks. There's no rhythm to the offense. There's no juice. There's nobody really making plays other than, Patrick running for his life and then occasionally making a play. But even today, there really wasn't. That first drive was probably as consistent as they were all day. And then after that, it was just like all they could do to eke out a couple of field goals. So it's just hard to watch and not even entertaining. It'd be one thing, if it was, a high scoring game going back and forth and you can see maybe an opportunity, but it just looked kind of lifeless. Right. A few plays, there was a lot of chippiness out there. It was a hard hitting game. And also,
how many times did they have to stop the game because somebody was down, just couldn't get up on both sides of the ball?
The cold and the hard hitting. Also, it wasn't a lot of fans out there at the stadium. The stadium wasn't that packed at what I seen on TV. It was just a crazy game to watch, and you felt it. I felt it in my spirit. I was like, well, it's not going to be a good day. I try to pray it off. But Patrick Mahomes, I think he'll be all right. He's a tough young man. He's a tough kid. I feel like he's a guy to tough through this. But according to Football Forever, this would be the year that NFL would not feature Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, or Patrick Mahomes for the first time since 1998.
That's 27 years for you and me, friend. That's a long time. It's a long time. And obviously those guys had great runs. Brady seemed to last for over 20 years. So yeah, hopefully it's just a little speed bump, kind of reshaping the franchise. We'll see. I know if you guys have been watching the show for any length of time, I believe at the beginning of the season or the off season, we had said, or I said, that this was good. Last off season was going to be one of Brett Veach's most important. It was, some injuries, the free agents didn't work out at all. Christian Fulton, Jerry Tillery were just not even, they were hardly worth mentioning as free agent pickups. A couple of the draft choices were injured. Several of them just never saw the field for any length of time. Brashard Smith, Jeffrey Bassa, who am I missing? Brashard Smith, Jalen Royals. So we'll see. Hopefully these guys. Jared, well, he was injured. And then today he was inactive. That kind of surprised me a little bit because Royals, I guess, was active, but I don't think he stepped foot on the field on either special teams or right. So just a lot of weird things happening this season. And we have a lot more questions than we have answers for sure.
Let's let's hear from some of the fans on X.
Okay, Master Chief. Or at Chiefs Fitted. Matt Nagy needs to go. This seems to be a pretty it just seems to be out there. Even if he does zero play calling, he's responsible for offensive game planning and has sucked balls at that for the last 3 years. Okay, so Master Chief has spoken, as many of you have in the chat as well. Matt Nagy must go. Quite frankly, gang, I'm not going to take up for Matt or whatever. I do believe he's a good football coach and is good at what he does. I don't know how much any different play calls were going to make the results much different. To me, it seems more like a lack of playmaker on the offensive side of the ball, as well as defense, quite frankly. But I think that, up front is where it really showed up. Now, with injuries to the offensive line, it's really hard to say because you didn't see Justin Simmons get a full seat, or just Simmons get a full season out of it. Trey's been out for several games. But we did see, as far as a bright spot, Kingsley may have found his niche in the NFL as being a guard. And if that's the case, that is a huge win for the previous draft, because I think most people were punting on that too, thinking he was a bust because he couldn't play tackle. So there's going to be some silver linings. We don't really see many of them right now because of just how it ended and what the record is and just the lack of a playoff season. But it's just tough right now. Kind of, you just got clobbered in the mouth. You really don't have anything good to say at this point. Right.
I know a lot of people were saying special teams, it was not geared well. Dave Tobe is not coaching well on special teams. The guys, the returners not, seeing the field well. And we know we're seeing some returns, that's around the NFL that's happening around other teams. Do you see Dave Tobe, being on the staff next season? Do you see him being here next season, Luke?
Yeah, I think we said it last show. I think as long as Andy's around, Tobe and Spags will be as well. I mean, unless they're for some reason something in their personal lives or something out, because they're both lifers as far as football coaches. I don't think Dave Tobe has forgotten how to coach special teams. I don't think he's blown anything, right? I think it's just, again, a lot of times a lack of execution. The guys that he has, there's a lack of playmakers there too. DS said, can they just leave Matt Nagy in Tennessee next Sunday? A lot of people imagine that's always an option, DeMecchio. I'm thinking they will give him a ride home. I don't know that they'll leave him there. Yeah, I mean, the big rumor, I guess everybody's connecting the dots. Nagy, Borgonzi's the GM, but I don't know how much say Borgonzi's going to have in the hiring of the head coach. Now, you would think the GM would have a big piece of that, but that organization is run a little bit differently than a lot of them. It's much like I would liken it to the Bengals, the Cardinals. They just have a weird structure, and you never know who's calling the shots there. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. The news is coming out of Kansas, out of the Arrowhead. You guys just joined in. Andy Reid said, Patrick Mahomes' left knee gonna need MRI. They're gonna do it on tomorrow, or they're gonna do it sometime soon. And honest to the reporters, it didn't look good. And going to like Lou said, if it just the back end of the season. Depending on what it is, what's the length of the time. Brett Veach, I don't care. I've been saying it. This season falls on Brett Veach. It falls on you. Absolutely. I mean, he's ultimately his crew is picking the players. Yeah, he ain't picking nobody. They are making the decisions on what free agents they go after. Now, as far as the money and how much they're allocated to spend, as far as cash over cap, that's another question. So that comes from above him too. So as much accolades as we give these guys for building the roster that won these Super Bowls and played in 5 of the last 6, then they're also responsible for when the thing starts to deteriorate as well. So yeah, I think everybody that watches can see that there's just a lack of playmakers on offense. These wide receivers seem to be more complementary pieces than there's not a number one receiver out there. Rasheed has a chance, but he's still kind of young in his career, and we got to see him really take the reins next season, or otherwise, I mean, they may be bringing in a number one receiver just kind of after they analyze all the crap that happened this season. They're probably going to need somebody that's going to step up and be the number one receiver.
Yeah, because looking at this season, like I said, Brett Veach, he's to blame. You know what I mean? The free agents that he brought in haven't played, played up to the point or never touched the field. You know what I mean? In the draft picks, you know what I mean? It just ain't, you ain't building the ultimate team around a guy that's generation talent. Like this, that just that we brought up, I brought up earlier. You know what I mean? This year, the NFL playoffs will not be without Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning, since 1998. And you have Patrick Mahomes. His name is on that top guns of all time list with these other guys. If you have that type of guy, you build the ultimate roster around him. Now you're going to be picking high in this draft coming up. Now you're going to have to build this ultimate roster around him because it's shown that, hey, Chris Jones said at the press conference, we got Patrick Mahomes. That's all. We don't need to say that. We got us, right? We got the team that's going to take it done. As a star player say, hey, I'm going to be going to getting this done. Put the weight on my back. Travis Kelce got to say, I'm going to put the weight on my back. This showed that this 7 years have been on this young man's back, and it all collapsed today.
Right.
It all collapsed today. You know what I mean? And now that they seeing that he's getting older, he can't carry like he used to do back in the day. This draft coming up, 2026, you're going to be picking high. You're going to have 5 picks. You're probably going to need to trade somebody. Way the defense played, way No Williams played today, and then Jalen Watson played today. McDuffie probably on his way out. You know, I mean, they probably traded him to get more picks. You're going to have to build the ultimate team around Patrick Mahomes going forward. I don't want to go into next year or the years behind that, seeing that, hey, we relying on aging running backs to get the job done. You see what Buffalo did today? They had James. They got a running back there getting stuff done, or they got playmakers. The Chiefs always pick at the bottom of the barrel, but you got to know what you're doing, Brett Veach. You can't just be passing up on guys. Jonathan Taylor for Clyde West-Helaire and DK Metcalf for Nicole Harmon and things like that. You got to actually look at yourself in the mirror this draft coming around and say, hey, we got the ultimate piece that everybody's still searching for in a guy like Patrick Mahomes. We're going to have to build that ultimate roster around him, man, because this was a complete embarrassment today. On Brett Veach. Out there, you got the players out there. You're trying to play together. They trying to, put everything together, but it looked bad. It looked like Scott Pioli days out there at Arrowhead today. That's what it looked like to me.
Well, yeah, the way they played, yes, but I think the talent on the roster is much greater than it was then. I don't think there's any question about that. I think it's just that some certain guys that they did draft that they expected to really take those next steps just haven't done it so far for any number of reasons. I don't really know. So all the comments out there right now is like I don't want to say a knee-jerk reaction, but trade this guy, get rid of that guy, get rid of all the coaches. I mean, it's going to be impossible to do all that in one off season, because if you do, it's really going to upset, a lot of the continuity that does exist. So even if you do bring in a bunch of new guys, I mean, in order to really form a winning team or whatever, you're going to need a lot of time for those guys to kind of grow together. So, so we'll see. Again, it's really it'll be telling, to see during free agency exactly where this thing goes. Do they actually go out and try to maybe spend a little bit more than they have in the past on free agents? Are there some premium free agents that they go after? Real playmakers, difference makers. Are those guys available? Are they willing to sign with the Chiefs? So maybe he may be available, or Atlanta might say, hey, we've seen enough. You've played better now. Instead of the 5th-year option, we'll just do a regular extension for you. So it'll be interesting to see who's available. But as far as today, this game, I think it was just really a microcosm of the entire season. It just, never really got rolling. The only time it really looked any different than it did was against like the Raiders. I mean, it's two of the like Rashid came back and all of a sudden it was, oh gosh, this, that, and the other, but it was the Raiders. So you saw what the Eagles did. The Eagles did to the Raiders today, basically what the Chiefs did to the Raiders. 31-0. They barely had any offense. They played with Kenny Pickett. They didn't play with Geno Smith. So I don't think that really tells us anything about either team other than the fact that the Eagles still have a pulse and the Chiefs are done for the season.
So let's go back into the mailbags and hear from the fans, because that's what we're going to do today, because we're supposed to be on X. And somebody posted
all right,
this.
The OG Chiefs Kingdom, Matt Nagy, has neutered Patrick Mahomes. Andy's concepts, which translate into Matt's voice, into Mahomes' helmet, has gone stale, boring offensive scheme. We're just wasting time and talent. OG, I think a lot of people agree with that sentiment right now. There's probably something to that as well. I think they did rely a lot on things that have worked for them in the past. They relied on guys they thought were going to take steps. I think everybody, and again, us included, I really believe this was going to be the best receiving core that Patrick had since he became a starter. Now, it's hard because you have to really overweight for Tyreek Hill. So they never really got anybody close to having that kind of playmaking ability. But as a whole, it seemed like those three guys, Hollywood, Xavier, and Rashid, were going to be a thing. And they really showed not to be, really, quite frankly.
Yeah. Also, this is what happened at the press conference today as well. I think it was Jalen Watson that said something. Go ahead and read that.
All right. So this is via our own X account. Nice. Andy Reid's message to the team following their elimination from playoff contention was to keep fighting, according to cornerback Jalen Watson. So, yeah, I mean, he's the coach. I mean, he understands, the situation that he's in. He's been here before, obviously with the Eagles back in the day, and it sucks, right? I mean, you got 3 games left. There's plenty of guys on this team whose careers can certainly be teetering. And if you keep putting bad tape out there, your opportunities are going to be limited, whether it's with this team or any other team. So yeah, you just got to keep playing, be a professional. You get paid to do this, so you got to play your hardest, and that's all you can do. That's all you can say.
Well, some sound bites are out there saying that it could be a ACL, which put him out. Actually, Patrick Mahomes. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, action until week 10 of 2026 season. So,
well, it's hard to say pinpoint exactly when that would be. I mean, some guys have come back in like 7 or 8 months. Some guys it's been a full year. And then even when they do come back, it's probably not till another year after that they're really kind of right, barring any additional injury, during that time that they play. So it's hard to speculate right now. Again, just looking at it and knowing that it was already injured beforehand and it was the same knee and just the way it looked, it didn't look good. But Patrick has had injuries that looked really bad in the past, and he's been able to figure it out. So again, prayers that it's not some major reconstruction and that he can get back sooner than later. Well,
like we said before, let's get into some of these in a chat. Let's get to this one. Who's that? Go ahead, Luke.
Okay, so Chiefs fan _1969. What cooked the Chiefs was not drafting in draft rich running, not drafting draft rich running. Okay, not drafting a really good running back. That's what cooked them. That's part of the issue. I mean, yeah, they need some explosive plays from wherever they can get them. And if you don't have anyone in the backfield, I mean, God bless Kareem Hunt and what he's been able to do in short yardage. He can still catch passes. He's always good at catching passes out of the backfield, but he just doesn't have the burst that he used to have. So that really helps the defense sit on a lot of things. And if you're not afraid of a running back, busting through the line of scrimmage and then see you later, like a Saquon Barkley or Jahmyr Gibbs, hell, a Jeremiah Love. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. I don't know. Hence, I don't know. Hence probably hasn't heard of him either. But no, he's from Notre Dame. He's really good. But you need to get explosive plays from wherever. And if you don't have one of those guys, it doesn't have to be like the greatest player. It doesn't have to be a top 5 player, but just somebody that has that threat. And that was my thinking with Brashard Smith. And he just never really got a chance to really show his abilities over a length of time. It's like 1 or 2 plays here and there, and then it's like, go sit down. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Hopefully that ends now, and then he gets these last 3 games to really show what he can do. All right, so Weston. I miss Weston's. Okay, Weston's. I don't care what anybody says. You need a chunk yardage, explosive running. Well, no, I no one's doubting that, Weston. Yes, absolutely. Everybody agrees with that. Yes, absolutely. And hopefully they do find one. Now, this past season, I think we were kind of all on that same train where we're thinking, okay, hell, if Travion Henderson is available at the end of the first round, that would be perfect. Great pass catcher, speed for days, great in pass pro that they saw at Ohio State. This kid would be perfect, but you have this huge hole at left tackle, and perhaps a really good left tackle has fallen in your lap. There's only so much you can do, right? I mean, so you take the left tackle and you forego, a couple of other running backs that went to Quinshon Judkins. I mean, there were others, but those guys went high in the second round. So, we're all in agreement there. Got to have one of those guys.
Oh, what do you say?
At posted _622, wasting time. We've been to 5 Super Bowls and 3 wins. Y'all can cry, but I'm thankful for being a Chiefs fan. Yeah, posted 622. I think we all feel that way too. I think, again, it's just kind of like the raw emotion right now of thinking that we're going to be one thing this season, and then it turns out to be like 180 degrees the other way. Right. I think we're all thankful. Nobody, if 7 years ago they would have told you, here's what's going to happen. You can sign up for this. I don't know of anybody that would have said, no, I think we can win it 7 years in a row. So yeah, this has been a hell of a ride so far. And I don't think it's over yet. So we'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be back. We just take a off season to retool, clean out the garage, and come out here and get it back. And I hoping praying that Patrick Mahomes MRI come back.
Maybe Brady comes out of retirement to play until Patrick gets back.
Well,
part owner of the Raiders, works for Fox. They'll let him do whatever he wants. Come on, it's Tom Brady.
If that's the case, I hope it ain't meant you. You don't keep meant you. Nah, I'm good.
We'll see. He's got 3 games here to show what he can do.
But hold on. Somebody Western said, "Do we trade McDuffie for a second and a
2 to 3 picks?"
2 to 3 picks.
It depends on what the market is for somebody like that. I mean, he is challenged by his size, so he's not the classic number 1 corner. And we've seen, some of the issues he's had with larger receivers. That's not to say that he can't still be a damn good player, and he is a damn good player. Now, is he a complete shutdown corner? No, I mean, there's really not many of those guys out there. I think if there was a market like that, I think some GMs might kind of back off of it a little bit because of what we're seeing now with the Sauce Gardner trade.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's some health issue there, but to give up, multiple number 1s for a corner, again, you got to see what's your team's philosophy, whatever. Yeah, if there's a team out there willing to give up 2 or 3 high picks, not necessarily number ones, but even one number one and say a 1 and a 3, I think you got to consider it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The way the corners Watson, I would pay Watson. You know what I mean? Watson to play good all season. He had a tough game against the Cowboys, but other than that, he played good all season. We got a poll that's out there right now. It said at 60. Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead, take it.
All right. At 67 years old and a contract expiring in February 2029, is Andy Reid really the man to rebuild the Chiefs going forward? Okay, so our social media team really takes some strong, like really let's relax a little bit. Okay, so 64% are saying that he's too old, whatever. Okay, I mean, I'm not going to argue with the results or whatever, but I still think Andy Reid can coach NFL football. Will he have to make some changes? I think he'll, go into this offseason and they'll look at everything. I mean, for it to go this badly, I don't think he's that arrogant enough to think that, well, geez, if you just give me the right players, I can make this scheme work for anybody. I don't think that's really him. I mean, he really kind of changed a lot after Philadelphia. I'm sure he can change a lot again. So, anyway, no shots at you, Mango. I'm just saying it's like right after this game. Let's go, buddy. This guy's got to go. He's too old.
I have to say that it was the punch and kick and stone cold stunner that the Eagles gave them in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
It has stumbled all the way into this season, and they fit since.
It's like they never recovered.
Never recovered from that punch. They still they got knocked out in the Super Bowl. They still in a coma right now. That's what it is. And we all just living through their dreams. And we thought that this team is going to come out. Brett Veach is going to come and rebuild his team, redo it all over. And we got Josh Simmons. He came in, then he missed some time, praying for whatever he had went going on. That, caused some issues there. Then you got the Rashee Rice suspension that he mixed all those games, and they had to try to retool from there, and it was just
throw the injuries on top of that.
And again, on top of that,
those sound like excuses, and they probably are. I mean, you gotta find a way, and I think we learned about a lot about the current roster. We learned a lot about some of these draft choices that I think even I know I did. I thought that we were going to see some growth from some of these guys. And not really happening. So, all right, Chiefs fan 19. Okay, Demecchio coming in. All right, so Chiefs fan 1969. Not going to get that much from McDuffie because the team who trades for him has to pay him. Absolutely. We may get a second at best, in my opinion, and that may very well be the case. Chiefs fan 1969. I don't say that you shop him, but I'm sure they'll make it known. They did pick up his fifth-year option, but he didn't get extended like George. So something's going on there in terms of negotiations, or perhaps what his camp is looking probably to reset the corner market. And the Chiefs are thinking, you're probably not that guy. So we'll see. Demecchio, Andy has to bring in some fresh ideas and some attitude. Yeah, I think that's also something that he will look at. Surrounding himself with a lot of the same cast of characters that can get stale. So you look at some of these other coaching trees, somebody on McVay's staff or somebody on O'Connell's staff, guys that are kind of those kind of up and coming offensive gurus, if you would, or they're probably already there. They just do it a little bit differently. So I can certainly see some changes to the coaching staff. All right, Chiefs fan again, 1969. Let's go. Toss power trap, baby. 65 toss power trap. To be honest, what did they really have to play for this season? After the three-peat failed, they just don't have it this year. Well, yeah, I mean that's one way to look at it. But you're still a professional. You're still, you're out there to win. You've got plenty of talent, maybe not as much as you thought you did. And some of the younger talent didn't develop and as quickly as you thought. So yeah, you still got to tee it up and play ball. So
I'll say this: Mahomes is down and out. You know, what I mean, we all praying for the best outcome of his MRI, and also if Josh Allen, all these guys they said is number 2 to Patrick Mahomes don't win a ring, don't come and get one done. Patrick Mahomes is not in the playoffs. He's not the boogeyman. Is not there to hunt you, to knock you out. You know what I mean? So if you don't get a ring now, I don't want to hear it. Right? I don't want to hear it. He took time off. He out. His team was down. He's down right now. This is your time to go out there and get one. If you don't get one now, then what I got? What you got to say, Josh Allen? You still gonna be looking at the best guy. You couldn't get it done with Patrick Mahomes, not even your weight. You know what I mean? It looked like it's gonna be Drake May. Drake May probably come out there and get it done. They play again in the playoffs when it's all said and done. But
you saw it today. The last 2 games. Josh does have that ability to carry that team, and a lot of the things we're saying about what the Chiefs have done or haven't done to build something around Patrick, you could say that that the Buffalo front office is doing some malpractice here. I mean, other than James Cook, again, they have a bunch of complementary pieces. They don't really have a number 1 receiver, but he's been able to get it done the last couple of weeks. So we'll see. Up in New England, they were down 21-0 today, and they ended up winning that game. Now, James Cook had a lot to say about that, but so did Josh Allen. So we'll see. I mean, you may not have, Lamar, they won today, so we'll see what happens with the Steelers playing without TJ Watt, but you might have Lamar out of the playoffs. Definitely going to have Burrow out of the playoffs. You're going to have Patrick out of the playoffs. So it's going to be kind of a wide open AFC.
Yeah, to get it done. John, to answer, to answer your statement here, we wasn't saying that Josh Simmons was a problem. We just said that on top of that, him missing games,
right,
added on to the knockout punch to the Chiefs took in the Super Bowl and all the other stuff that piles on to this season. That's one of the things that piled on to the season. I know they was 3-1.
Yeah,
they still lost a game when he wasn't out there. So
it really crimps his development time.
Yeah.
So now it's like going into next year again. You kind of know what you have, but he didn't really get as many snaps, as many games as you would like him to get in his rookie year. So again, it's going to be a little bit of a question mark at one of the most important positions on the field. So just one more thing they're going to have to contend with in terms of, okay, how do we move forward? I think he's the starting left tackle. I mean, going into next season, no question. And it looks like you've got 4 of those 5 positions pretty much taken care of. We'll see what happens with Jawan Taylor. Huge cap number. Is he willing to restructure to get an extension and lower his cap number? Or do they just feel like, hey, we're just going to move on, to maybe get a little bit of cap savings, whatever, and then move and then try to find a new right tackle?
But looking at the coaching staff, I know everybody's coming from Matt Nagy. It's going to be some shakeup.
He's the easy target, Hence. I mean, he's the poster boy that just, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think that. I think he, I'm with the fans, I'm with the fans, Luke. I'm with them. I'm like, hey, but other than that,
that's okay.
I'm with the, the fans on that part of Nagy, but this defensive coordinator, the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be shaken up. Spags probably get a coaching job. I know a lot of people say he's prone because he's older.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Hence. I really
don't. He probably would. If he does leave. No. Oh no, just the scenario.
Yeah,
if he does go,
hypothetically,
if he does go, then what does his team have to hang their head on?
Well,
what are they going to have their head on?
Well, I think if that were to happen by some miracle, that one of these teams goes out and hires a 65, whatever, how old he is, year-old defensive coach, which that has not been the trend in the NFL. I think Pete Carroll coming back was kind of an anomaly. He might be gone. So if in fact he does go, I don't think they would look outside the organization. I think Dave Merritt would be at least they would offer him the position to be the defensive coordinator. And you'd see a lot of the same scheme, but I'm sure some different as well. And I'm sure he'd hire some different people, to work under him.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Dave Merritt in that position if that were to happen. I do. I mean, my opinion, that would be the guy.
He probably take a coaching job. He probably a surprise name that probably take a coaching job or a head defensive coordinator job.
I think he's kind of in Spags' boat. I mean, he's been around a lot longer than you think. He doesn't look like an older dude, but I mean, he's I know he doesn't it. He's got at least one kid at where is he at Nebraska? One of the somewhere in the area. He's been offered other defensive coordinator positions. I think Kyle Shanahan had done it after the first Super Bowl. When they lost Salah. So, but hey, yeah, I think he just stayed for family reasons.
John said players miss block. Nagy's fault. A player dropped passes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's Nagy's fault. But yeah, I'm just with hey, it is what it is. I want changes. This offense, the play callers have been stale, John. If you go look at it, I was out here. I was sitting next to my son during the game. I said, "Son, write this down." He's writing down. I said, "This is about to be a run." He said, "How you know?" I said, "Hey, they in shotgun. And under the center, it's about to be a run. Shotgun. It's about to be a pass. Oh, Juju's out there, line to the left. It's about to be a screen pass to Rasheed Rice or Bashar Smith." If I'm on the couch sitting watching this, and looking at the game and knowing that the play caller is about to be what you're doing out there is going to be well known to the fans. Something do need to be changed, John. Something do need to be changed in that scheme. If I can tell what you're doing, if people on the internet can tell what you're doing, something in that scheme needs to be changed. I know passes drop. I know missed blocks, all this happening, all that. But the play before the snap, we already know what it's going to be, right? If Juju's out there line to the left, it's going to be a screen pass to Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice, the screen god. That's what he is. Because I don't see him out there running routes or nothing like that. They don't have him doing that. Okay, we're going to just pass the ball to Rasheed Rice in the screen because number 9 is out there, Juju. Out there and blocking, right? That it's too much details in the play calling that everybody can see, even the reporters, fans, even the little babies and grandmas can tell the plays out there that Matt Nagy and Andy Reid is running this season. It's got to be changed. It's got to be changed on that play calling, that coaching staff on the offensive side. I think the defensive side of the ball is well.
I think one thing we also have to consider is the players that they have. Perhaps those, and again, I'm not talking about the predictability of it, but just the types of play calls you see is really all is to the strength of what the current players out there have. So you can change the scheme, but if it's not to the strengths of the current players that are out there running it, that's not going to be good either. So that's the other question that they have to answer, right? What else can we do with this receiver group that's going to make it more diverse, that's going to make it more of an explosive type offense? Can they? That's first thing is, can they? And then, okay, what do we do to change it up to, again, play to their strengths? So, well,
it's two guys I'll bring in. I know everybody's saying Matt Nagy. They need to get rid of the running back coach, receiver coach, and bring in some guys that actually played at that position, like a T.O. that always looking for a wide receiver coaching job, a Chad Johnson that always looking for a wide receiver coaching job. Hey, go knock on Eddie Kennison's door and see where he's doing and bring him in to coach the wide receivers. Running backs, hey, see what Priest Holmes doing. Say, hey, man, I need you to come and coach these running backs. Want to get in coaching, you want to, come in the schemes and run to coach these running backs. Oh, John Gruden, he's on YouTube all the time. Go get him and say, hey, you want to be our offensive coordinator? Something need to change on this offensive coaching staff that, because it's looked as stale since the Super Bowl, and it's spilled over into the season. John, I don't know you got your stats. I know everybody's saying what it is, but it's what the eyes can see. And Lou see it. I know you see it, John, and I know a lot of people in the stands see it as well. This offense has been stale. Your quarterback should not be your leading rusher. And this is what happened when your quarterback is your leading rusher, taking all those hits. And now we got Patrick Mahomes down.
The other part of the equation is, okay, what type of system or what type of, I guess, offensive attack is also going to make Patrick more comfortable, because it just seems like he's just off. He's jumpy. And, some of the throws that he's making, like the one that got picked off. Now, it was a great play by Henley. But the throw that he makes there is like, you're asking Kareem Hunt to just make like an otherworldly play for him. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago, he makes that play, right? But not now. And if you're throwing it away, make sure you throw it away. Don't put it in harm's way. But, and then some of the other ones where, it looks like he's ready to launch and then he's not. So he's again, you got to find something to get him comfortable too. We can say what we will about what Patrick has accomplished, but where he is now at this age, watching him play, a lot of what he does is what they were fearful, at least the scouts that were fearful of what might happen to him in the NFL when he came out. Right? Like he wasn't going to be able to play in structure. He's takes too many chances. Where now, he's gone 180 degrees the other way. He really doesn't take many chances at all. Now, the one, he took the shot downfield and they tackled Thornton. I don't know how the hell they missed that call, by the way. That was just ridiculous. They took him down way before the ball got there, but there's too few and far between, and he just looks really unsure of himself on most throws. On some, it looks like he hums it in there and is okay. He looks good on that, but then there's too many where it just looks like he's not really sure where the receiver is going to be or where he's going, and the throw reflects that. And here we are talking about what's going on with the offense, and we got to change the play calling and everything else. It all starts with him. So whatever it takes to get him comfortable and be able to, I guess, function with him being more confident in what he's doing.
I watched one play today, the play action, when they did the play action to trying to pass the ball today, and the offense, not the cornerbacks even bite on it, the linebackers in the bite on it, because there ain't nobody in the backfield to fear. There's no one in the backfield to fear. They ain't got no James Cook. They ain't got nobody out there that's going to fear it and say, hey, we got to come down and bite on this. Some of this pressure got to take off Patrick Mahomes. They got to get a running back this year, this draft, or off of free agency or something. And they got to get a big body, a true X receiver. I like Rashee Rice. They got to get a big body, true X receiver, man, to bring in here to get this team back on the ropes again. And also a tight end, man. That Travis Kelce. I think he probably retired after this year. He probably gonna walk off because of Mahomes. He probably going to retire over Mahomes is upstanding, but he probably think about it as well. Like, I don't want to go down like that as too, and then got a hero off season as well.
Are you pulling the string on Jared Wiley's gold jacket?
No.
Are you pulling the string on that thing?
I'm not pulling it. I'm not pulling the string on it. They are.
Are you taking? Are you pulling it apart?
I see potential in Jared Wiley, but they ain't put him out there. We haven't seen him all season. We see them one time. But hey, if Kyle Pitts is available, and he's out there and the Chiefs can sign him, you bring him in, then you go get draft Jeremiah Love, then you trade.
It's all going to come inside out. The trenches, again, if you feel comfortable with Simmons, Kingsley, Creed, Trey, and then what are we doing at right tackle? So that's I guess job one. Job two is, okay, who's going to be your elite pass rusher? Somebody that can you don't have that guy on your team.
Well,
Chris
there you are,
Jones is still good, but he's not great. He can do it in spurts. We saw it in the Houston game, but again, it's not going to be a sustained thing over an entire game. And today it was mediocre at best, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to figure out, how are we going to put some pressure on opposing quarterbacks without having to blitz all the time and having to throw 6 and 7 guys coming every time, because you're going to get beat occasionally, and those normally go for like explosive plays. So you got to be careful how often you do that. Then you look to, okay, explosive players, guys with the ball in their hands, can take it the distance anytime. Now that's rare. It's hard to find those guys, but you got to find at least one this offseason, whether it's a running back, a true number 1 receiver, and then the other guys, their games elevate because, if Rasheed's a number 2 receiver, you got and you got a real true number 1, you got a really good receiving core. And then Xavier Worthy as your 3, I think you're in business.
Right.
So there's a lot where they can go. And it just, I hear what you're saying, hence, about building the elite roster around
ultimate
15.
roster.
But I think it's a lot easier said than done, because I think they put a lot into these draft picks. They really thought these guys were going to elevate. They just haven't yet. So is that, is that they didn't scout them properly, or they're not being coached properly? They're just not developing. It's a lot, right? And that's what makes what they've been able to do over the last 7 years so incredible, because it's that hard to do. I mean, these teams, you look at Detroit a couple of years ago, they're sitting there in the NFC Championship game. They blew it against the Niners, but now they're kind of treading water. They still have a lot of great players, but they can't seem to get over the hump.
Right.
So it's a lot, but today everybody's coming for Bear, and they want blood.
I know, guys, our hearts are broken right now. Our hearts are heavily broken. You know what I mean? The Chiefs ain't made the playoffs. You know what I mean? This is the first year we ain't seen them in the playoffs in a long time. Patrick Mahomes' injury didn't look that good. A lot of Chiefs fans are heartbroken. But I guarantee you, in April, your hearts will be filled with love. And that's Jeremiah love. Your hearts will be filled with love. So don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Yeah, everything is going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Don't
he's the fix-all. He is the panacea. He is the savior, right?
Don't panic, guys. Jared My Love was going to be on the way for you guys.
The interesting thing to be between now and then is just to really kind of get a sense where. Now, again, we won't know for sure, but hopefully through different media sources and whatever, you get a sense as to where the league has him rated. Now you have to kind of guess, and then how high do you have to get to even have a chance to draft?
Well, when it's all said and done, Chiefs be probably picking them number 5 when it's all said and done. Maybe probably picking numbers. They
already have 6 wins. They can't like forfeit any of those wins.
I'm talking about if they lose out, they probably gonna be picking there. And then you're gonna have our hearts filled with love.
6 and 11. 6 and 11 might get you to like top 12.
Top
like
12.
Somewhere between 9 and 12. But like a lot of those teams are still losing, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't see the fight. I think the Giants lost again today. The Raiders lost again today. I think the Raiders are probably going to have the number 1 pick. Tennessee's playing right now. I think they're playing San Francisco. I haven't seen a score, but they're probably going to lose that game. Mm-hmm. So these teams at the top just keep losing. So it sucks.
Do you guys in the chat not just take away to what happened? I know that's a lot to take away from today because it looked like a meltdown. at the Arrowhead Drive. Just take all that away, take a deep breath, and say, do you see this team actually winning the rest of these games? Do you actually see them winning the rest of these games, Luke?
No.
Do you see them winning against Tennessee? Do you see them winning against Denver? Do you see them winning against the Raiders?
I think obviously, regardless of whether Patrick has as an ACL tear or not, I don't think he's going to play. Mm-hmm. So with Gardner Minshew, I think they can beat the Raiders because the Raiders seems to have packed it in for the most part, especially after today. Again, I mean, this is they've been shut out at least twice this year that we know of. I mean, the Eagles and the Chiefs did it to them. I don't know if they've shut, but anyway, they can win that game. They could certainly beat the Titans. Mm-hmm. The Denver game, Christmas night might be ugly. That's going to be tough because I don't think they're going to flex out of the Netflix game. I don't think the NFL is going to do that. Maybe they will. But damn, that could be a rough Christmas night for sure.
A rough Christmas night. The Grinch that came in and stole your Christmas tree, and everything else from the Chiefs Kingdom. But again, guys, we could be down today. We've been down before. We've been down before in the kingdom. But hey, we in these past years with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, we didn't see greatness, right? We didn't see Super Bowls, AFC championships. Hey, Lou's a little older than me. I know he didn't see the Super Bowl in like 50-some years. You know, some fans ain't seen it in 50-some years. But hey, you guys got to see Patrick Mahomes at his greatest. Now it's going to be the time in 2026 is to build the ultimate roster around Patrick Mahomes. You got to come out. You got to come out and build.
He almost had. I don't want to say like completely, but I think he has to also kind of reinvent himself and how he sees himself playing in his 30s, because it's certainly going to look a little bit different than before, especially if this is a major knee injury. One, he'll be a little bit slower, that's for sure. And two, he's probably not going to want to be, lowering his shoulder a bunch and really taking a lot of hits. So, okay, what does that look like? What do we have to do? And that's going to take, some meetings, whether with Veach, with ownership, with the coaching staff, to say, okay, how do we want to play? How are we going to move forward with this and really give you an opportunity to finish your career the way you want to become like the greatest or even close to being the greatest? What has to happen? So a lot of this stuff is going to be coming up over the coming weeks, months, but it's not like the program comes to a screeching halt. They've got games to play, so that part of it is going to happen. You've got, scouting staff out there. Obviously, there's not a lot of games left, so most of their work on the current players is done outside of some playoff games and whatever. But, in terms of most of their work is done until they get to like the All-Star games, the combine, and just kind of moving forward. The draft, free agency will kind of mold how they go in the draft. So who knows? I mean, Breece Hall might be available in the off season. What if they just say, screw it, we're not going to use a high pick on a rookie. Let's just sign this guy to a 3-year deal that we were going to do in the off season during the trade deadline, and let's roll with him. And then we'll use that draft pick in another position, whether it be that X receiver or elite pass rusher or offensive lineman.
If it ain't Jared Ryan Love for me, it would be Denzel Boston from Washington. I would, he would come in and cause a lot of havoc here in this offense as a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. But going into these last 3 games left, Kelsey probably see what happened to Mahomes. Do you see Chris Jones and Kelsey still playing? Or was this today was the last game we've seen Travis Kelsey?
Well, I think if Travis, probably the way his career is going, where this is going to be it, I think he's going to try to play as much as he can these last 3 games. I just think that he just loves it enough to say, hey, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out playing hard, playing as well as I possibly can. Chris Jones, I mean, he doesn't have any excuses. I mean, unless he's injured, I'm sure he probably has. I don't know exactly. You'd have to look at his contract. Maybe there's some incentives in there for snaps or games played, or maybe sacks, whatever. I know he doesn't have that many, so I don't think he's reached any thresholds with that. So yeah, I think they're going to try to play as much as possible. Now, if they had some young guys behind them that they wanted to really take a look at, especially on the defensive line, those guys have been playing. There's nobody on the bench that you're saying is why doesn't this guy get more snaps? Why doesn't he play more? Tight end, maybe if Wiley's ready to rock and roll, it's kind of work him in more. He's going to need, I mean, obviously the ACL was a problem. Maybe he hasn't really recovered from it as well or as quickly as they thought he would have. Maybe it's still slowing him down. So that's why he's not playing, because there really is no other reason for him not to be out there. You got Robert Tonyan. He's like a 10+ year vet. You're really not featuring him. Those are wasted snaps that you could have a young guy in there trying to develop a little bit.
Also, the news came out for Nate Taylor yesterday that said that the plans ain't for. I know I talked about it yesterday, but I want to hear your take on Isaiah Pacheco. The plans is not for him. I know a lot of people want him
again. For anybody that's been watching this show, even last season, saying that this was going to be it for Pops. He was not going to be a 2-contract running back. And so I don't know where Nate got his information, but maybe somebody leaked it to him that that's officially the way they're going. But I don't think it was ever not a chance they were going to re-sign him. And then just kind of the way he's looked since he came back from the leg injury, that 7th round pick, they were playing with house money. What he was able to do his first 2 years, he way overachieved, I'm sure, what they expected out of him when they drafted him. So this isn't really, I mean, to me, it isn't news. All due respect to Nate, I'm sure it's good information that he's getting, but I don't think there was, I think the handwriting was on the wall. He was never going to get another deal.
Let's go with Crystal Lee.
So Ken St. Clair, Pops, 11 for 21 today. Some of that not his fault. No, but no, he's not. He wouldn't. He's not the guy for this offense. They need a more natural pass catcher, although he worked on it, got pretty decent at it, but they need somebody that's a natural pass catcher out of the backfield that can really put some pressure on the defense, somebody that can make explosive runs on the regular. Now, again, it's the NFL. It's rare that you're going to make a ton of explosive plays, but you have to have that threat so that the defense plays a little bit more honest. And like Hens was saying, those play action fakes, have a little bit more bite to them, because, if the guy does have the ball, you want to be coming towards the line of scrimmage, not moving away from it.
Yeah, that's what I seen when they did a play action pass to Isaiah Pacheco. The guys didn't even bite on it. They said he ain't going nowhere. He gonna run right in. He gonna run right into Tooney, not Tooney, but Kareem Humphrey. He gonna run right into Kareem Humphrey. That's what he gonna do. But again,
today Trent Green made it a point to give Pops his props for showing a little bit of patience and vision, something that everybody has complained about for the last 4 years that he just doesn't have. But it was so significant that Trent Green had to point it out, because it happens so infrequently. And he did make a nice move and got some positive yardage where it didn't look like anything was there. So kudos to Pops for making that play. But no, he was, again, in my opinion, he was never coming back after this season.
Yeah, that's my opinion too. I don't think he's gonna come back, and I don't think he should. But again, guys, our prayers are up for Patrick Mahomes. We hope we have a speedy recovery. A message to Brittany: let the kids, keep the kids off of him. Let them heal. Let them heal.
Yeah,
don't have the kids jumping on his back,
jumping
on the leg. Have the nanny nearby. You know
Now,
what I
were
mean?
there any? It scroll back a little bit. Hence, I think we had some new people in the chat that I hadn't seen before. I know I've read some from
right
others,
here.
but I think there was some more there. Who do we got? OzMP01 Chiefs Kingdom wishing a speedy recovery to Patrick. Bolt up. All right. So if you are a Chargers fan, congratulations on the big win coming to KC, winning, sweeping the Chiefs. First time since, I don't know, sometime in the early 2000s. Sanjay Go 7461. The AFC also got good really quick. They did. Yeah. Obviously the young quarterback starting to step up. Justin Herbert a little bit, Bo Nix. So, yeah, it happens. Ken, time to shut Pat down for the season. Well, yeah, I think that decision was made for him there, Ken, but thanks for the comment. Anyone that we haven't seen before, Hensley?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You said Pat looks broken.
All right. So Michael Hall, 7421. Yes, sir. Looks broken. Well, yeah, again, I was holding that comment for a while, but I think for probably most of this season, that was kind of my thought, but I wanted it to play out. Is that, again, just to repeat myself, this is the Patrick that I think evaluators were afraid of when he was coming out of Texas Tech, is that he didn't play in rhythm, didn't play on time. Now, he's shown that he's been able to do that in time at stretches when he's had great protection. But when it starts to break down, I think everything does speed up for him, and it would anybody. I'm not saying that all of a sudden he's a bad player. He doesn't know how to play quarterback. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he does look uncomfortable, and that's job one, is figuring out first how do we make him comfortable and then kind of attack everything else.
I know how to make him look comfortable. I know how to make him look very comfortable. Bring back Eric Bieniemy. Get rid of Nagy. Bring back Eric Bieniemy. If he messed up, Eric Bieniemy going to be on his head. He's not going to be sitting on the sideline, not talking to you, not get the offensive But what we've seen today, what the report today, right? Offensive side of the ball.
She was talking about the players, not the coaches. The coaches were involved.
The players I'm talking about the players wasn't like. At least, Eric Bieniemy would have been out there in them coaches, players' ass saying, "Hey, get this done. This is to be done." Like this, like it goes back to this, back to somebody said about you said Patrick Mahomes. I think since this, this statement here fits very well to what's going on with Patrick Mahomes right here. It is. I know. John gonna say Matt Nagy ain't blocking, he ain't doing this and doing that.
Yeah.
But you got to have that a coach is going to be a rah on that sideline, hold everybody accountable.
Well, Andy is now going back to the poll question, and again, I wasn't taking a shot at you, Mango. I was just kind of at the question. But as far as Andy Reid, now he's now been here longer than he was in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Now, again, this is going to be like Lou hot take guy, but at the end of that, a lot of the same comments were starting to come up. Is that he lost? Not saying that he's lost the locker room, but maybe everything doesn't hit quite the way it did as they were winning. So. Is it time? Not necessarily that his age, but just the length of time that he's been here. Same whispers you're hearing in Pittsburgh and in Baltimore about Tomlin and John Harbaugh. They've been there so long. They're not really winning playoff games. Yes, they've had success in the past. Yes, they've each won Super Bowl. But how long has it been? Are the players responding? Are the players, are their teams regressing? So again, it has to be asked. It could be wildly out of bounds for me to even suggest it. But in terms of history and things that we've seen in the past, It has. Now, there's no way in hell the Hunts are going to come to Andy and say, we think you should move on. But does he do it? Does he say, okay, I think that's it. I think I'm done. I don't see that happening. I really don't think so. So it's just going to be a matter of those things that I said, is you find a way to get Patrick comfortable. That could be as easy as having some explosion in the backfield, right? Mm-hmm. Have another explosive receiver. Are you set? Is that the best offensive line that you can put out there with Simmons at left tackle and Juwan Taylor or one of these other guys at right tackle?
I think the offensive line is fine. I think they just need to change the scheme. Patrick Mahomes don't need to be leading your team all season and rushing. That's a big no. That's a big problem. You know what I mean? That is a problem.
Well, that's some of that, hence I believe, is on the offensive line, because I don't think he'd be taken off that much if he felt protected and was able to, really throw the ball where he wants to throw it.
Well, we'll see, man. I know a lot of Chiefs fans, you know what I mean? I know we all, upset and down, but you don't. Again, the draft is coming up. And we're not picking at the back of the barrel no more. We're not going to be picking at the back of the barrel. The playoffs, the Chiefs are done. You know what I mean? So, what are you guys? I know it's too early. What are you guys looking for? Who and since we're not going to be in, who y'all think going to be in? Who you think going to make it to the Super Bowl? Who you think you'll actually get there?
I think we should adopt an NFC team. We should adopt an NFC team and just kind of center the show for the next few weeks on them. To me, I just really like the way the Rams are playing. I think that young defense is 1 year older, more experienced. Fisk, right? Jared Verse. I mean, you can go right through them. Kobe Durant, all these guys. I mean, they've got some really nice players on defense, and the offense, runs through those two wide receivers. They got a two-headed running back rotation as well. So I kind of like the Rams in the NFC. In the AFC, I would have thought, and I still believe that the Patriots may get it done. Today, I think maybe this might be good for a reset. They'd won 10 in a row. I would have told you after opening day, they lost at home to the Las Vegas Raiders in week 1, and they would win at some point 10 games in a row and be the number 1 seed. Now, it looks like, I don't know, I haven't seen scores, but Denver, if they win, they'll keep the 1 seed for now. And even if they lose, because the Patriots lost, I don't know if Denver is as good as New England in terms of balance, because it's sometimes their offense does well, sometimes it doesn't. Their defense plays well most of the time, but, we'll see. But it should be interesting. But I think, Rams Patriots at this point, I think that would be an interesting game to watch.
Yeah, I had to go Chicago Bears. And the
Bears, huh?
I'll go Chicago Bears and the Patriots. They both came out, both quarterbacks came out in the same draft. It's like the young guys get the show at it. Getting a shot at it. So I had to go to Chicago Bears and Patriots. If I could just, Photoshop the whole game and just, have AI do the Super Bowl and just have Patrick Mahomes out there, maybe. But other than that, man, I think it's going to be the
intriguing one to me right now actually is Jacksonville, because it seems like they get a little bit better every week. Now, it could be a function of the schedule too, but they just seem to be like one of those teams that just is finding their stride, right? And it just, wow. I mean, that they could be a scary team in the playoff. But the thing that you worry about some of these teams in the playoffs is if they've never been there. The coach has never been there. The quarterback has been to the playoffs once, and they gave up or no, they ended up coming back against the Chargers, but then they played the Chiefs tough, but they haven't been back since. They kind of like took a nosedive after that. So that'll be an issue. But they're an intriguing team to me too.
I told you, I said, Phillip Rivers said, hey, Patrick Mahomes might not have a chance to make the playoff. I don't have to go through him. Let me resign. Let me get in here. Let me get a chance to get my ring. And that's what he got here doing with Indiana.
I know it's Hence is usually the one that pulls this, but according to our numbers, we're well over 2,200 viewers, watchers that you've been in or have been in, or I don't know how all that works. But for those of you that aren't subscribed to our channel, please check us out on YouTube on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, typically at 1:30 Central Time. That's 2:30 in the East. We'd love to have you on a regular basis. I know there's many of you that names that I hadn't seen before, a lot of them that I read and read your comments. Please stop by during the week, and hopefully we'll give you a little bit more Chiefs therapy moving forward for the next few weeks.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking draft heavily. We got no chance. We got no choice now. I know y'all told me to shut up about it a long time.
Well, draft, free agency, we can kind of get a sense as to who is going to be free agents. Now, some of them will re-sign with their old teams, but we can start hitting free agency too. Now,
don't kill me in the chat. I pray Patrick Mahomes is, if it is okay, but I don't want no Minshew here as a quarterback. Do you see the Chiefs looking at the Browns quarterback room and say, hey, Deshaun Watson, or the Shador probably gonna be there because the Browns probably take a quarterback in the first round. Do you see them over there like, let's get a guy that we can win some games and get some games under our belt until Patrick Mahomes come back?
Well, I think there's a few steps before that. I mean, that's kind of a break glass in case of emergency. If it's like determined that it is kind of a reconstructive thing, it's 9 months minimum, right? And then if he wants to be as mobile as he normally is, it may be longer. So now if you're telling me that you need to have a starter that you believe that can, again, be competitive and get you in the playoffs, you're definitely going to have to consider some options and see, what's out there, who's out there.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones hasn't signed a new contract with the Colts yet, but he's in the same boat. Achilles, the broken leg. I mean, he's going to be out for a while. So yeah, we'll see what the Browns do. I mean, Shador, I think they lost like 31-3 today in Chicago. So he probably didn't have that good a game, but they'll be, he's got 3 more games to kind of state his case to be the guy for next year. I don't think they want to have to use their draft capital to draft another quarterback. Deshaun Watson's not going to go somewhere to, I don't think that would be a tough thing for somebody to bring Deshaun Watson into their locker room. I think at this point, hence that would be a tough.
I just threw some names out there.
I understand, but I'm reacting to that in real time. So I think that would be a tough one for somebody to say, we sat with you for 6 hours during the draft process. We kind of liked you then, but you've also had this like weird existence for the last 5 years, and we're not going to be in that business. It's not like there's a bunch of quarterbacks out there just out there to be plucked. There's so many teams that don't even have one, right?
So, or hear me out.
Yeah,
I think it's coaching over there. I think he didn't get the right coaching. If you just bring Anthony Richardson in and to say, hey, let him be the backup to Patrick Mahomes. Let him be,
I'm saying if you need somebody to start like the first 10 games of the season, it ain't Anthony Richardson. Hence, no way.
I know.
You're basically. I think you're just punting on the season. There's no way he's going to be ready to do that. I don't know. I mean, you have to see, Mac Jones. I mean, he's a guy that's shown that he's able to go in and start and win games. It would look completely different, but he's proved it. Minshew's done it at a mediocre level, but he's won games in the past, whether it was with Jacksonville or the Colts. Who else is going to be out there? I mean, then you're looking at guys like Kenny Pickett. I don't know how long. I don't know how long did he sign for with the Raiders. I mean, there's nobody out there that you say, hey, that guy can play. We can go. I mean, those guys have signed with other teams like a Sam Darnold. I can't. I don't know. I'd have to let me noodle on it, but the one that comes to mind would be Mac Jones, because I mean, his agent's going to want him to get a chance to play somewhere. And as long as Purdy's healthy, he's never going to play, with San Francisco. But I think when he did play, he played fairly well. He played real well at the end of last year for Jacksonville.
Yes, I think it need to be somebody young, somebody that can be groomed around him, around Patrick Mahomes, and I don't think it need to be no more older guys. Bring
it up, Pence. Bring it up, Truth Crusader. Thanks for dropping by, man. Like I said, come by on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Don't worry, you guys will be good and relevant again in another 20 plus years. Way to go, Truth Crusader. 98% of NFL fans are happy now. Bye-bye, Chiefs. Laugh my freaking ass off. Yeah,
hey,
so
it's not over.
We love the trolls too. Thanks for the comment, Truth Crusader. You're absolutely right. Most teams, most franchises around the NFL would have killed for this kind of run. So jump on the grave while you have a chance.
Like Western said, I mean, he said, hence our hearts will be going to be filled with love. He said, hey, you build around
I say, because everybody's starting like what happens if he goes like fifth, right? Somebody just drives them. Oh my God, what do we do? All right, G-Dog28G not starting if tore his ACL. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, man. He won't be back until, again, late next season at best. Now he's been, he's recovered or been able to play through some crazy crap, right? The high ankle sprains, through Super Bowl runs and things like that. This is going to be different. This would be, major surgery during this, during the off season, which, is also going to delay everything. So you're absolutely right.
So now, if Patrick, like if it, I pray it's not that, but that's going to stop a lot of free agents wanting to sign here, right? I'm like, Pat's not
that would make it, that would make it more difficult for sure, especially receivers. I think like a defensive lineman or something like that. I think it would be more so playing with Chris Jones. Maybe taking on the challenge of coming in and being the guy, not a complimentary piece, right? Hey, it's just some elite guy. But again, those are like finding a quarterback to really get you through a tough time. Those guys aren't growing on trees, and they're typically signed for $35 to $40 million a year. So you hope you draft one that really pops, and now 4 years down the road, you're trying to figure out how to pay that guy.
Yeah, man. And again, man, prayers up to Patrick Mahomes. You can troll all day long. He's still the greatest quarterback to ever touch foot on this earth. But So hey, when he heals up, everybody's gonna be eating dirt. Everybody's gonna be eating their comments and hoping what they do. When they come back,
we're here for that. Man. This is all on the internet. It never goes away, right?
So with that said, man, guys, like Lou said, we're gonna be back on Monday, 1:30. We want to thank all 2,000.
Just a few hours.
and guys, we'll be back on Monday, guys.
If you didn't get your comments off, drop by tomorrow. I'm sure we'll just kind of elongate this therapy session. We'll also have Harold Kuntz of Fox 4 joining us as he does every Monday. So a guy that's boots on the ground is there talking to players, talking to coaches. I mean, that's always a great time to have Harold around after a game like this for sure. But yeah, if you're interested in some more therapy, we're here for you.
So we'll see you
tomorrow.
We'll see you guys tomorrow at 1:30
Central Time.
And we want to thank everybody for on Facebook, Indeed, X, everything that's
all the socials, baby.
All our social media accounts. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. All 313 of you guys. Hit that subscribe button. And also don't forget to play 5 to get 100 with Underdog as well. Also hit that Cash App.
Hey, these last 3 weeks, you know, you're not worried about the Chiefs results. Hey, there's other teams out there. There's other players out there. You can make some money while you kind of drown your sorrows.
Hey, it's still let's go Chiefs. We'll
play
be
the
back.
Video before we leave. Hence, play the video.
You know, before we back. I know we all in our rooms right now. I know we all, feeling down. I know we all
this is a live look at Nick Athen.
Hold on, guys. Yeah, but I know we all are down right now and everything else. But I think
we'll be back. We'll be back. It's okay.
We'll be back.
And now for a live look at Nick Athen.
Let's leave a live look at Nick Athen, guys.
Why the fuck do I decorate my room like this?
Yeah, that's Nick.
That's why he ain't here right now, because he probably tearing up his room right now. So with that said, guys, we want to thank you guys for joining in. We'll see you guys at 1:30 on Monday with me, Lou, Nick, and Harold from Fox 4 News here in Kansas City. So with that said, guys, enjoy your Sunday. Keep your prayers up for tonight when you go to bed, or
breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Deep breathing is good. Yes. Hey,
and still enjoy your holiday, because we still have 3 rings. We still own the AFC for 7 years. We still are those guys. And we just caught a flat tire on the way. We arriving to the party a little late. We're gonna arrive a little party a little late.
What have you done for me lately?
We'll see.
Peace.